You woke up today, and something felt off. Not dramatically, not in a way you can point to, but in the way you breathed, in the way your body hesitated before moving, in the way your heart didn't rush to catch up with the world. There's a part of you that's still playing the role, still performing the routine, still answering to a rhythm that no longer belongs to your nervous system. But under all of that, there's a quiet truth forming, a knowing that this life, this identity, these choices were made by a version of you that no longer exists. And the version of you that's here now, the one blinking at the ceiling before getting out of bed, the one that feels like they're watching reality through a pane of glass, isn't interested in pretending anymore. Something has shifted, and it didn't announce itself with a breakdown. It arrived as a slow refusal, a soft rebellion, a sacred kind of disconnection from what no longer feels alive. You're not confused. You're not lost. You're in transition between a life that was built to survive and a self that's finally ready to live. This video isn't here to give you more tools. It's here to hold the space between who you were and who you're remembering you've always been. You're not the only one feeling it. That soft, strange sense that the air around you has changed, even though the sky looks the same. That time moves, but not quite forward. That people speak, but the words don't land. It's not in your head. It's in the field. Because reality isn't held together by what you see. It's held together by resonance. And right now, the old resonance is fracturing. The structure that kept the old world spinning, urgency, performance, projection, obligation, is losing coherence. And for those who are sensitive, for those who've been silently attuned to truth beneath illusion, this moment doesn't feel confusing. It feels inevitable, because your body already knows. The field that sustained your past self is collapsing. You may feel like your motivation has evaporated, like familiar spaces now feel foreign, like your nervous system can't tolerate what it used to, like you can't pretend to care anymore about anything that doesn't feel real. This isn't depression. It's disconnection from distortion. You're not shutting down. You're being unplugged from timelines that were built on survival, from expectations you never agreed to, from identities you inherited just to be safe. The world won't call this a shift. It's too quiet for that. But your system knows you're already stepping out of the broadcast. And yes, it feels like free fall because you haven't landed yet. You're hovering between fields, between definitions, between realities. This isn't something you solve. It's something you stop resisting. Because what's dissolving now is everything that was created to keep you small. And what's forming beneath it is a signal that doesn't respond to effort, only to honesty. And the question now is, can you let yourself feel unstable without mistaking it for failure? Because the deeper truth is this: you're not breaking down, you're breaking frequency. Let's name it clearly. You're not lazy. You're not unfocused. You're not off track. You're standing inside a reality that no longer has your frequency embedded in it. And your body knows it. You try to force motivation, but nothing moves. You try to care about your goals, but they feel flat. You keep pushing through your routine, but your energy doesn't respond because the structure you once lived in, the thoughts, the patterns, the identity, is dissolving. And that identity was never fake. It was functional. It kept you safe. It helped you belong. It taught you how to navigate systems that never asked who you really were, only what you could do, produce, tolerate. But now, your nervous system is choosing something new. Rest as resistance, stillness as sovereignty, slowness as intelligence, and it feels wrong. Because your body is detoxing from the chemical addiction of performance, of proving, of overexerting just to stay relevant. That detox sounds like, why don't I feel like myself anymore? Why do I feel numb and disconnected? Why can't I do the things I used to do easily? Because you're no longer meant to. Because the frequency that powered your old self is no longer compatible with the field you're entering. Your system is refusing to run outdated software, not out of failure, out of integrity. This is not a breakdown. This is your energy field rewriting its agreements. It's saying, I won't keep powering this version of me. I won't keep leaking energy into a false structure. I won't keep playing a role that my soul has already exited. And that's why nothing feels clear right now. Because clarity doesn't come from momentum. It comes from resonance. And resonance doesn't shout. It hums. It waits for the noise to stop. It waits for the pattern to collapse. It waits for you to stop reaching for what already let go of you. And now that you're here, in the stillness, in the uncertainty, in the quiet withdrawal from everything you once called normal, you're beginning to feel what's underneath the pattern. You, not the idea of you, not the story of you, not the version of you that knew how to survive the old world, the one that doesn't require distortion to feel real. That's what's emerging. And the only thing you need to do now is stop trying to rebuild the life that made your nervous system call disconnection safety. Let it fall. Because what rises after that will finally be built on your actual frequency, not your fear. You're not falling apart. You're falling out of agreement with a version of you that was never built to hold this much truth. And that exit, the slow disconnection from everything you once believed was you, unfolds in phases. They don't always come in order. They overlap, spiral, return. But once you recognize them, you stop mistaking growth for collapse. Here are the 5 phases of spiritual exit. 1, the cracking. You can't fake it anymore. You show up, but not all the way. You laugh, but it feels hollow. You say yes, and feel the no echo inside your chest. Nothing big breaks, but everything fractures quietly. You begin to sense, something about the way I've been living isn't mine. This is the crack, not in your mind, in the mask. 2, the withdrawal you pull away. From people, from patterns, from plans that once defined you. Not out of fear, but because your body won't play the game anymore. You cancel. You ghost. You sit in silence instead of explaining yourself. You don't need to make it make sense. You just need to trust the retreat. 3, the surfacing. Once the noise fades, the residue rises. Old grief, buried anger, unmet needs you've been performing over for years. You feel emotional for no reason. You replay moments from childhood. You get triggered by things that don't deserve your reaction. It's not irrational. It's release. You're not regressing. You're remembering, so you can recode. 4, the void. Now there's nothing. You're not in pain. You're not inspired. You're just blank. You've stopped reacting. You've stopped trying. You've stopped pretending. This isn't depression. It's the pause between frequencies. Your old self is gone. Your new self hasn't fully arrived. And you're floating in the quiet space where rebirth begins. Stay here. Don't rush it. 5, the emergence. One breath feels easier. One truth feels clearer. You say something you've never said and it lands like peace, not panic. You walk into a room and no longer shapeshift to match it. You no longer beg for alignment. You hold it, not loudly, not perfectly, but undeniably. This is the beginning, not of a new identity, but of an old truth returning, finally unfiltered. These 5 stages are not a spiritual checklist. They are energetic phases of return, back to your center, back to your rhythm, back to the part of you that always knew. You were never meant to hold yourself together just to be seen. Now you're letting go, not into chaos, into coherence. This part of your journey isn't about clarity. It's about capacity. Can you hold yourself when the identity collapses? Can you keep breathing through the moments when nothing makes sense? But something still feels sacred? Here are 7 practices to help you stay aligned while the old grid dissolves and the real you takes its place. 1, begin the day by reclaiming your field. Before you scroll, before you remember who the world expects you to be, sit up. Place one hand over your heart, the other over your solar plexus. Close your eyes. Say, I call my energy back. I no longer perform what is not real. Today, I choose presence over performance. Let this be the first vibration you set. 2, use stillness as your signal. Every time you feel the urge to speed up, pause. Don't fill the space. Don't fix the discomfort. Don't rush to clarity. Stillness is not stagnation. It's the recalibration of your nervous system. It's where the next frequency downloads itself. 3, take one honest action daily. Ask, what is one place I'm still betraying my truth? And then shift it. Even if it's small, say no, cancel something, speak up. Stop explaining. Not to change your whole life, but to stop rehearsing the old one. One aligned act per day stabilizes your new field. 4, release what carries the old frequency. Audit your environment. Not from minimalism, but from integrity. What are you still keeping because the old you needed it? A book, a conversation thread, a to-do list, a role, a subscription. You're not throwing things away. You're clearing interference. Make room for what's actually yours now. 5, create daily pockets of sacred silence. 10 minutes. No noise, no consumption, no explaining. Just sit. Let your system land. Let your soul speak beneath the static. Clarity doesn't come from more input. It comes from finally hearing what's already here. 6. Close the day with an energetic return. Don't take the world to bed with you. Sit still. Place your hands on your lap. Speak softly. I release what is not mine. I release what I no longer need. I return to my original frequency. Let the sleep that follows be integration, not escape. 7. Speak from the future. You already sense your language shapes your frequency. Stop saying, I don't know who I am. Nothing is working. I feel stuck. Start saying, I'm in the space between versions. I'm learning to rest in the unknown. I'm letting what's true find me through presence. This isn't affirmation. It's alignment through embodiment. You don't need to fix the shift. You need to honor it. You're not here to perform clarity. You're here to stay soft enough to receive it. These practices aren't about doing more. They're how you stop doing what was never yours to carry. So here you are, not broken, not behind, not confused, just between. Between the self that knew how to adapt and the one that no longer needs to. Between the life that demanded your performance and the one that invites your presence. And maybe there's still no clarity. Maybe your energy hasn't fully returned. Maybe you still don't know what to do next. But that's not failure. That's the field clearing itself. So it can hold you. Not your role, not your productivity, just you. And if you can stay here without reaching for noise, without rushing to define it, without rebuilding the illusion just to feel stable, you'll notice something else rise. Your signal, the part of you that never needed proof, the part that was never distorted, the part that doesn't need to become anything, because it already is. And that's the invitation now. Not to fix, not to push, not to start over, but to live this moment without dragging the old self through it. You're not becoming someone new. You're remembering the frequency of someone real. If this message echoed inside you, anchor it, not by effort, but by honesty. Drop a line below. What part of you are you finally letting go of? What truth do you now feel ready to hold without defending it? What shift did your body already say yes to, even if your mind didn't yet catch up? Speak it, not for validation, but for vibration. Because when one person stabilizes a new field, the collective grid becomes easier to enter for everyone else. And if this video felt like coming home, subscribe. Not to a channel, but to a frequency. This space isn't about information. It's about remembering. And every time you return here, you return more deeply to yourself. So don't rebuild too fast. Don't relabel what's dissolving. Just rest. Let it echo, because what's rising in you now has never needed permission, only space. And now, you finally have it.